Yo, what up? It's been forever. But felt it was time for a little late night chat. So if you're in here, Stacy Rogers, what's up? Let me know how well you can hear me because it's been a long time. There's a lot of different things in this thing now. I'm like, is this the right button? I think it's this one. You know, with it being such a long time, tonight was just about saying hello and chatting, sitting, just talking about whatever, and felt that maybe there was someone out there tonight that needed to get something off their chest or just hear something positive because things are crazy out there these days, you know? What up, Jazz? Welcome in. Thank you, Stacy. My wife hates this shirt. So glad someone else likes it. This is a shirt that was pretty cool how it came to be as far as a design. Um, One of the fellow Roosevelt's folks that are in the community, uh, just a normal dude like myself, um, partnered up with them, and this was actually his wallpaper in a room in his house and use it as a charity shirt. So I wanted to help contribute to that because I thought it was a great cause. I don't like how this mic is getting blurred out. Would rather it just be open. But I don't have a true green screen today, so it just looks like part of my face is gone. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Does it change if we do? No. See if we do that, then it. But then if I go over here, that's weird how that's doing that, right? Let's see. Very weird. I don't know. Not gonna worry about it. If I blur, uh, blur's a little better, I guess. Let's see. I don't know. She just doesn't like it. Yeah, that's why. At least now we can see part of it, and it's not so weird. I'll just leave it like that, with it being blurred. You know, life's been great the last couple of years because it's been a long time since been on. But I'm a grandpa now, times two, about to be times three. Uh, had a great job, lost a wonderful job, and now I have another fun job. I love what I do now. That's what I think, Stacy. It looks. I don't know. She likes Spaceship Earth, but that's technically not what this is about. The shirt, it's just a geometric design, but reminds me of Spaceship Earth. Thank you. Um, you know, life, at least for me, life is not about making the most money. It's not about um, having the most things. It's not about having the nicest car, the biggest house. Um, to me, it's about creating memories with the ones you love, right? And so, does it take money to do that? Sometimes, for sure. I mean, you have to have a roof over your head. And Lord knows nowadays it's ridiculous the prices of rent, or if you're going to go buy a house. Um, I read something the other day that a home in California back in 1950 sold for $8,000. Now, granted, it's 1950, times are different, inflation and all of that, right? But if you were to take inflation and see what I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was 8,000. It could have been 5,000, but I'm pretty sure it was 8,000. Um, oh no, actually, I think it was 5,000. What that equates to today? How much is $5,000 in today's buying power? Right, $5,000 is equivalent to approximately $86,000. So they bought a home is equivalent to $86,000 today, which I think we would all love to be able to buy a house for $86,000. We'd all be in a home, pretty much. I mean, there are going to be exceptions to that rule, right? But do you know how much this home is being sold for or listed for? And we're talking a modest 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,400 square foot home. Nothing crazy. 1.1 million. Uh, and people are still wondering, like, why don't more people own homes? Well, for one, salaries haven't gone up that much. So at the end of the day, creating memories can be free, you know, and taking the time to be with your loved ones, creating those memories. Uh, those are the things that you can't buy. You know, you can't buy memories. You can use your money to get you there. You can use your money to uh, be able to take time off of work. But at the end of the day, you can't use your money to remember those memories. Um, so for me, that's what it's about. So my current job, I may not make the most money, but it's enough to be able to live and still do the things we want to do. You know, we have a nice trip coming up in October, going back out to a wonderful state and theme park, which maybe I'll bring up at a later time. But you know, in this world of negativity, I just wanted to spread some positivity. You know, take a minute and let you know that you matter. And that even though times are tough, that you're loved. God loves you. And it's going to get better. You know, whatever you're going through, the power of prayer is huge. You know, build yourself a good circle of people around you that you can talk to, and reach out to and say, hey, I'm going through something. You know, will you pray for me? For me, it's very important to have others that are there that you can lean on. What up, Debbie? Welcome in. Oh, I love your little icon there. It's cute. Oops. Let's see. Stacy says, when I was 12, my parents bought the house I grew up in. They paid around 51,000, and and I looked it up on Zillow, and it's valued at 340,000. I know it's crazy. You know, I wish I wish more of us could be able to afford something. I know I'd love to be able to. Here in Central Florida, it's just it's not as bad as California, but man, it feels, especially with how much jobs pay here, it definitely feels just as bad, and it probably is comparatively. Uh, but going back to what I was just saying, you matter. At the end of the day, with the weight of the world on your shoulders, stop, take a moment, breathe. You know, uh, it's okay to not be okay, and it's normal to feel a certain way, but don't let yourself get stuck in that. You know, um, be there for someone. When you're passing someone on the road, smile. You know, that smile may be the one thing that helps that person uh, live another day. You know, and I didn't have anything prepared tonight other than just to come on here and chat and see if anyone uh, needed anything, needed prayer, needed just to hear another voice, you know. So I wanted to come on for a little while tonight. Debbie said, I needed this so much. I have needed your inspiring words, VP, especially the last couple of days. Well, you may have been just the one that the Lord was telling me to come on tonight for, because Lord knows what I went through to get on tonight. I can tell you that. It was barrier after barrier after barrier. Um, First, getting off work super late tonight. Had a late shift that I'm not used to having. Um, and was really tired earlier. Then trying to get something to eat and then find the equipment and then the computer updating. It was just one thing after another after another. Um, and several times I was like, you know what? I haven't been live in forever. It's not gonna matter. No one's gonna miss it. Only I know I'm gonna go on anyway. And a little voice in the back of my head was like, no, go, go live. And I said, all right, I will. So Debbie, you're welcome. You know, it's pretty cool to see how people that I've met on YouTube and um, been able to meet in person, uh, see some of our friends over on Chris Dadbuild's channel get together almost nightly, but definitely weekly, and it's important, you know. Uh, I hope to be able to get back to doing some of this because I have missed it, and like like you said, Debbie, you needed it, and maybe it's not going to be something like this where I jump on for a little while and just spread a little positivity. Maybe it'll start being some other things too. I mean, I definitely miss the round table with the fellas, uh, being on other lives. Uh, will definitely bring some of it back for sure. You know, because it's been fun. I know my one of my sons has some stuff brewing up with a podcast and uh, some other things that he's doing, and you know, you might see me over there if you pop in over there. Yeah, the round table with Gonzo and Ed and Chris. That was a fun. Those are fun times. Our schedules are so crazy now that we barely even. I can't say we barely even talk, but like Gonzo, I haven't talked to in a long time. Um, Chris, I text every once in a while. I pop him in his chats. Um, Ed is probably the one that I talk to. He's the one that I easily talk to the most regularly, but even that isn't what I would call regular, just because our schedules don't line up. I happened to chat with him today um, for like 3 minutes maybe, and one of the first things he said was, "Man, I'm sorry I haven't called you because it's been a while." So, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to hang out with Ed a few weeks ago. He came down for a convention, so that was cool for a work convention. But you know, Arlene and I would love to be able to get up to Virginia and hang out. It's just hasn't been in the cards with work and everything. So who knows what the future holds, as they say. Stacy, I definitely will. Um, you know, it's crazy. And I know I'm saying like 50 million times because I'm trying to shoot off the top of my head about the next thing I'm gonna say. But the one of the things that prompted me to do this tonight as well was reading about the passing of Judge Cypriot. I believe that's how you say his name. The one up in what is it, Rhode Island, where he's one of the more lenient judges, I would say, in the country. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, having a heart and being a judge, they're not. It's not something that should be polar opposite, in my opinion. Yeah. Uh, so many people have told me they missed the round table. I don't think the round table itself will ever come back. I think that one is what they say is a one hit wonder, so to say. But fun times for sure. You know, definitely, definitely can't complain about how much fun we had doing that show. Yeah, I watched him all the time as well. My wife, funny enough, has no clue who he is. But seeing, you know, he battled so much, yet still had so much joy and positivity um, all the way up until the end, you know? And having true faith is important. It's hard, you know. It's easy to say, "Oh, I trust you, Lord," in the easy times, but when the going gets tough and things are happening, can you truly say that you have faith in the Lord? You know, is it something that you're willing to be vulnerable with and give up? I've struggled in the past with it, but I can tell you, having true faith and not being what I used to call myself as a realist, because in my opinion, a realist is nothing but a negative person who lacks faith. Because if you had faith, then you would know that what's happening right now is temporary. Oh yeah, for sure. The roundtable was a lot of fun. Some of that stuff you know, wish wasn't on the internet anymore. Yeah, it's pretty funny. We had some good times on there. But, with all that's going on right now in this crazy, crazy world, check on your friends. Smile at a stranger. Talk to a stranger. Lend a helping hand. And, this may not apply to either one of you, but if you're watching this on the replay, maybe it does for you. Don't be self centered, be selfless. You'll get so much more out of life being selfless. You're welcome, Stacy. You know, it's crazy because I interact with so many people on a daily basis, and you would think, especially with what I do and how I interact with people, that they would be happy, that they would be joyful, and more often than not, they're angry, stressed out, um, dealing with anxiety because of, oh, I got to do this, I got to get this, I got to do this. Oh no, we have to run over here, and sometimes, especially if I can see it and they're going through the anxiety, um, or something's happening, I definitely take a moment to try to let them know, hey, this is gonna pass. Take it easy. Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay, and enjoy yourself. It's not worth getting yourself all worked up for when what you're trying to do is have fun. Does that make sense? Don't let the anxiety and stress of, oh, I need to get this done, or I have 50 things that I want to do. Don't let that get in the way and block those moments that you're having with your family. Don't be too busy to stop and listen. One of my favorite things that I've ever heard is it's let me come back to it because it just kind of slipped. All right, got it. It is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. It's one of the best things I've ever heard. And it's so true. You should write that down. Put it on a sticky note or something. It is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. I wish I had some. Is there any like? This is what I was talking about. See if we had any good. Let me know if that's too loud based on my voice. Having some nice background music. Should have put that on a long time ago. Forgot that was an option. Cool. How's everything been going with you, Stacy? You still jumping in all the different chats, helping people out? Let me see if I can share a photo of what I do these days. This is a fun one. Let's see if I can share it. Of course, but of course. Let's try this again. AAA Sparkles, what up? How you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Let's see. Debbie says, that is what I've been going through. Some anxiety the last couple of days. I'm trying to be there for my best friend going through a very toxic relationship. I'm so worried for her. Well, Debbie, first off, I'm sorry to hear that you're having to deal with anxiety. Anxiety sucks. I've dealt with it myself in the past. So was Arlene. I dealt with anxiety for so long, I didn't even know what it was. And then when somebody told me, I was like, oh, well, shoot. And I've been dealing with this for a long time. I will say this. Good on you for being there for your friend. And I would encourage you to pray for your friend. Be there for them. No problem, Stacy. Let's see if I can share this picture now. Here we go. Bam! There I am with Mr. Jafar. So yours truly is a bus driver for the Walt Disney World Company. And it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. I enjoy it. I work all the time. But it doesn't feel like work. Like it's the first time I've ever had a job where I'm not stressed. I work more now than I have in the last 5 years. Since I was a leader over at AT&T. I'm doing fantastic and glad to hear you are as well. Life is, I'm working literally 6, sometimes 7 days a week right now. This week, I'm only working 6. As of right now, looks like I'll be working 6 next week as well. Tomorrow, gonna take off, have the day off, spend it with Arlene. We haven't had a day off with just the two of us in a long time. Normally on a Thursday, she's watching one of our granddaughters. So we won't have her because she's on vacation with her parents. And so it'll just be the two of us. So we're going to have a nice day tomorrow. Definitely. One of the crazy things, thank you, Debbie. One of the crazy things about being a bus driver is I don't know what I'm going to be doing until I clock in. Some days I'll have an idea, but then to actually meet up with people while I'm working, as Pete and Preston have found out, it is very hard, almost impossible. Funny enough, one of my first nights working, Chris and Angela, Dad Builds, they happened to be the last people at Epcot getting onto my bus one night, just out of sheer chance. And it was crazy because that night I was working out of Magic Kingdom and they had sent me down to Epcot to help out, and it just so happened to be their resort at that time. We were like, what? And one of the cast members walking by took Chris's phone and snapped a photo for us. But I thought, what are the chances that out of everything going on, that happened? It was so cool. This photo here, though, I was actually at a transportation party. It's very cool. They had Jafar and they had Oogie Boogie. They had some food. It was a really good time. I was very appreciative to be able to experience that. Hoping to be down in Disney. I added down in there. I am hoping to be in Disney in December. I hope to see you. Yeah, I hope you're able to come down. I mean, I still do my best to try to meet up with people. Um, Obviously, I don't know what my schedule will be then. I know through September at least, my schedule is typically I get off right now between 6 and 8 p.m. typically. Um, if what I'm thinking is going to happen come December, it's probably going to go back to being one or end time of a 1 or 2 a.m. shift, which is fine. Just a little different, obviously. Yeah, the coincidence on that was crazy. Yeah, it blew my mind that night. It was wild for sure. Hoping, I always hope to try to stay in touch with people. That's why I always, if I haven't been live, well, I haven't been. What do you mean if I haven't? Since I haven't been live is what I should have said. I like, want to still pop in chats and stuff like that to say hello and, still let people know I'm around. It's not I'm not gone. Let's just say that. I hope to be back more regularly. And that's for sure. Let's see. So I actually haven't seen Pete and Preston yet. That's why they know it's nearly impossible. Because every time they've come down, like I've seen Pete and Preston, but not while working. They've wanted to find me to ride the bus with me, obviously, but they haven't been able to. It hasn't worked out. And those are the only other person that I've seen while working has been Marky Mouse and his wife. I saw them, funny enough, at Epcot, of all places. Other than them while working, I think that's it. Same here, Sparkles. I hope to be more regular as well. Yeah, it's once you get on this side of the fence, so to say, and see the operation that is bus transportation, it is crazy. Because I know as a guest, all I ever cared about was when's that next bus coming? Not understanding Disney has this amazing operation going on. And trust me when I say they do everything in their power to get you home as quickly and as safely as possible. Especially when the parks are letting out, from a guest perspective, when you get to your load zone to go to your resort, especially after fireworks or something like that, when you're tired all day, sometimes it feels like it takes forever. I can tell you from a driver perspective, it's weird. Like, at least the first couple of times I did it, it felt really weird to me because of knowing that other side. But you'd come in, full load zone, fill your bus up, leave, take everybody home. You'd come back, and it's like a ghost town. It is wild. Very rarely do you just keep going and going and going. Normally Disney's on it and they have so many buses going that people are home and good to go. That's good to know. I've seen multiple buses come to Coronado, stop at Epcot at the end of the night, so thankful Disney does that for us. Yeah, what a lot of people don't even know is there's a whole group of buses um, set up for the different parks specifically for closing time. So there's the normal buses, and then when it's closing time, even more buses get added so we can help quickly get people home safely. It's pretty cool to watch. You notice it more up at Magic, but it happens everywhere. The only one that's kind of different, I guess, would be Animal, because Animal since it doesn't have a show or anything like that, people just kind of slowly trickle out through the last couple hours of the day. So there's no need for that extra push, so to say, I guess. Debbie says, I took the buses the whole time last year, especially when on the scooter. The drivers were so very kind and helped on and off. Yeah, I mean, we're there to do that for you. There's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable doing it, and I totally get it. Especially some of these, you turn down the speed, and it's still like zoom, and I'm like, whoa! I'm gonna run myself over when I'm helping. And then there's other ones that you put a full blast and you're holding it, the battery's not dead, and it just won't move. I'm like, this one needs a new battery. You should call them up. The newer buses can hold up to 3 scooters, and to me that it helps a lot. I like the new system that they have on there. Stacy says, I lived down there for a year in the 90s, and I actually drove taxi while I lived down there. Oh, that's interesting. Did you enjoy driving taxi? So I kind of understood the transportation systems. All right. Very cool. Yeah. Being a taxi driver. I wonder if being a taxi driver is much different. Like, how does that compare to Uber? You know what I mean? Like, because I could tell you I drove Uber for a while, and man, I could tell you some stories. People are crazy. I have a picture one night where I picked up a quarterback and 3 defensive linemen from the UCF football team one night, and when I picked them up, they were like, do you mind can you take us to Taco Bell so we can get some Taco Bell before we go home? Sure, whatever. But it was funny, at the time I had a Cadillac, and they all fit fine. It was very interesting. I have a picture of that somewhere. It's on my Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Stacy says, I did, but I didn't. During that time, I was in a controlling relationship, so I didn't get to fully do what I could have done. Well, that's unfortunate, but I'm glad to know that you're no longer in that. So, yeah, I wonder how, even with the Uber driver, Uber and Lyft, compared to the Mirrors taxis, I wonder what's similar and what's different. Know anyone who's a taxi driver? I don't. It's interesting question, something to ponder. All right, ladies. Well, it's been an amazing time. I hope you got some good nuggets tonight. If you're watching the replay, I hope you did too. And I'm gonna sign off for the evening. Be on the lookout for a future live, and we'll chat again, have some fun. Who knows? Maybe have a guest on or something. But love you all. Something that I definitely don't want you guys to forget is Love is magical. Go share it with someone. Have a great night.